Well, hello and welcome back to me, Dr. Mark Harrold's Guide to Living Your Best Life. This is the sixth and final video of the current series, and hopefully we'll be back after the summer with lots more tips and ways to live your best life. Today, we're going to talk about how to stay positive in the sometimes challenging world. All right, let's kick off with our first tip on how to stay positive. I've probably touched on this before, but I think it's really important to have an attitude of gratitude, because many of us spend a lot of time looking at things that are not going well in our lives. And the important thing here is to try and focus on what is going well. For instance, if you're reasonably healthy, that's something to celebrate. If you can have 3 meals a day and have those 3 meals a day, an awful lot of people in the world don't have that. If we have friends, if we have family, they're all things that sometimes we can take for granted. But if we want to feel more positive, just stop, take stock, and look at what is going on in our lives that is really good. Walk tall. Simple as that. If we actually make ourselves to walk tall, walk in a confident way, it's amazing. The brain is actually tricked into thinking that we are confident and we are top of our game. So don't forget, when you walk out your front door, walk tall. Life is a book. No doubt about it. If we look across our lifespan, there have been many different eras, different times when we were happy, times when we were sad. But that is something to keep in mind always, that no matter how low you might get in your life, there's always a next chapter. And who knows what can be around the corner when we start that new and positive chapter. Very often in our lives, we tend to sort of spend a lot of time thinking about negative individuals, bad people who have negative influences on our life. But in reality, this is my belief, and I think the statistics to back it up, 97% of people are good, and we should focus on that. Yes, 3% you would categorize as malignant narcissists, selfish, uncaring sociopaths, and they do tend to rise to the top in organizations and sometimes in families. However, the other side of that is that 95 or 97% of people are generally good. I firmly believe that. If you're going through a rough time right now, the big tip here is wait, because situations, circumstances never stay the same. So no matter how bad you feel about your current circumstances, things will change. There's so many factors that can do that. I'll give a simple example. When I was away recently in Italy, and we were in Verona wandering around these boring streets, and we thought, gosh, we wasted our time coming to Verona. And then we turned a corner and we found this enormous piazza where the Colosseum was there. There were flowers, restaurants, action, people, interest. And I think that's a little microcosm of how we should consider our lives. Yes, it may be boring, or we may be just sort of wandering the streets aimlessly, but it just might happen. We'll turn a corner and we'll come across something wonderful. So hold out for that. I'm going to keep this one as simple as possible. If you need support, ask for help. Most of the time, in fact, I'd say 95% of the time, that help is there, but we have to ask. So ask for help. I've spoken in the past about how important it is to soothe the senses in order to feel less stressed and more positive. But for this tip, I really want to focus on the sense of smell. The recommendation I'm making here is pick out a nice perfume, spend the extra few euros and get a nice aftershave or perfume. Make sure you wear your deodorant, but splash on the perfume because it'll definitely make us feel better when we head out the door and face the new day. Don't forget to smile, because when we smile, we feel better. We produce endorphins and the dopamines and the serotonins in our brain that actually make us feel better. And the very interesting thing about smiling, when we smile at somebody else, they do the very same. So I can't emphasize the importance of smiling enough. So when you go out today, don't forget, smile. Be kind to yourself, because very often the last person we consider is ourselves when it comes to treats or pampering, or, and this is one of the most important things, how we talk about ourselves. We have to be kind to ourselves in how we talk to ourselves and not be overly critical of ourselves. But also, take the treats, go and have a little treat or pamper yourself in some way. The main thing is we have to be caring towards ourselves. And the last reason to stay positive, or means to stay positive, is just to remember Manchester City won the treble. Or else just have a laugh. Basically, we should look to laugh as often as we can, because that is going to help us stay and feel positive. So there we are, 10 ways and means to stay positive. It's very important that we look after ourselves even before we go and look after other people. So that's going to wrap up our current series, and hopefully we'll be back with lots more advice and talk about how we can live our best life. But for the moment, I'm going to say goodbye, take care, and many thanks for listening in, and hope we'll make contact very soon.